these are some examples of the dies that you're going to be able to find on the website. I'm going to show you these very quickly, and then I'm going to show you why you need them. So you've got some beautiful stamens and also those beautiful little blossoms. You've got your fabulous gardenia here, and then you've got two dies. You've got a large flower and a small flower. Again, I'm going to show you why it's important. Then you've got your carnation here. Again, a small and a large. Really easy to use. We've got our aster. Oh, fell off, a small and a large. We've got our peony, which is fabulous. We've got our textured stamen, which just gives you the inside of the floral there. We've got our shabby rose, which is amazing. And then you can see we've got the wildflower. Now, we'll have more on the website. That's just to give you an example. And so you can see the size of the packet. These are fantastically sized dies. And then having those two huge dies on the back of there for a big flower and a small flower. Who doesn't want to do that? Now, I just want to first and foremost show you some of the things you're going to be able to do before I show you how to make them, because this isn't just about tiny little, let me just give you an example. It's not just about tiny little flowers as an embellishment on a card. Now that looks lovely. Those flowers are quilled and beautiful on there. It looks gorgeous. But it isn't just about that. It's also about real statement pieces. And for people like Susan, who was our crafty ambassador there for this Monday Makers, it's also about using your soft craft as well. So you can make statement home, let me just get this, statement home decor pieces. Look at this, hanging wreaths for autumn. They could be done in summer colours if you wanted to do it in summer colours. Look how gorgeous this is. Oh, we've got a little crunkled petal there. I need to, where's he? There. Oh, there. That one. There. I cannot stand a crunkled petal. I like them all to be. There we go. That's better. Look how fabulous that is. Mixture of big and small blooms on there. And that's just on one of those really inexpensive little woven wreaths that you can get from anywhere. Decorate it up, stick them on with our hot glue gun. This is beautiful. Christmas, everyday, wedding decorations, home decor, doesn't matter. Decorate up a chalkboard for the kitchen to write little notes on for the family if that's what you want to do. Just get some beautiful quilled flowers on there, matches your home decor. Looks absolutely exquisite, does it not? Then you can also do door hanging plaques. Look at that, done with our mixed media. So with that lovely texture stencil on there, some gilding wax. You can see we've used stencils and we've used that lovely textural paste on there. Really decorated that up and distressed it. And then a couple of those beautiful quilling flowers, which have also been distressed and textured around the outside with little bits of fibres behind. Looks like something you'd pay a pretty penny for in one of those little gifty shops if that's what you wanted to do. Now, not only that, we can do our scrapbook pages. I'm just going to whiz that in for you. Look at our Sarah and her beautiful sister Helen. Beautiful sister Helen's just had a lovely little girl. So Sarah's now an auntie and she's absolutely gorgeous and stunning. I still need to have a hold. Next time she said I'm going to pinch the baby and run away, just so everybody knows. But there's Helen and Sarah, that lovely scrapbook page with the flowers on there. And then for Susan, our soft craft ambassador with paper craft, you look at this little headband that you can be making with beautiful felt flowers on there. So you can be using your Quilling Dies to cut felt and then decorating headbands, little wristbands, decorate your little makeup bags that you're making if you want to, your curtains, your light shades, doesn't matter what. So you can cut your fabrics if you want to do that. Absolutely gorgeous. And then, of course, you can be making other 3D pieces. I'm just reaching over to get it. Other 3D pieces. Look at this as an alternative wedding card. Look how gorgeous that is using the smaller quilled flowers. Right. How easy are they to put together? Well, it could not be more easy. And how easy are they to cut? Very, very easy. So let's have a look first and foremost at how to do that. And I'm going to cut down into my plate because I just prefer to do that. So let's get, let's go pink. And let's go pink and what's this one? Carnation. Let's go pink carnation. Why not? And we'll go with the small one to start. In fact, actually, I might change my mind. I might do. Hang on, I'm looking. Because I've got some down here, you see, and I want you to see. There, we'll do this one. We've got peony. Well, I do love a peony. As you know, it's one of my favourites. I've told you many times. So I'm going to take one of my little pieces of pink paper here. Actually, I can do more than... So if you've got your Gemini, you can do more than one. So if I want to do a peony, and if I also want to do a nice yellow, different type of flower... I'm going to try 2 sheets there as well, see if I can save myself some time. Why not? And let's do 2 pink sheets of the pink. I can just fill up my whole Gemini plate with all of my different flowers, with all of my strips, line up my dies and cut, and then just have a fabulous crafty time using as many of these different dies and quilling as I like. So actually look, I could keep going across my Gemini plate if I wanted to. I won't, because I just want to crack on and show you how they work. So you get the idea. If you've got your Gemini and you've got the space, then you can do that. Now I'm going to build this sandwich up backwards, so that would be that one in there, that one in there, that one in there. Pop that on top and then pop that through. Now at home I would be using a little bit of my repositionable tape just to keep that die straight on that little strip of paper, to stop it shifting when I lift it up and put it through. You don't have to if you're confident that you're not going to move it, but if you're not confident, then just a little bit of tape just to stop the die slipping will just give you that little bit of confidence. These haven't slipped or moved, these have cut brilliantly. So all you would do is peel away your waste, which you can see there, and peel away my waste here. There we are, very easy. And then I need my little pokey tool just to release this. And remember, this was 2 sheets of the quilling flower. And what I just like to do is go along and just release each one of these petals as I go along here, just so that I don't get too excited, because I can sometimes, and if I try to rip it away like a sticky plaster, I could tear a petal off the base, and I don't want to do that. So the first thing I do is just release all of those. Then from one end, you see that I've done that, and then you can peel it up. Don't do that until you've released all the petals. And because I cut 2 sheets, I've got 2 pieces for my quilling flower now, and because the pressure is so awesome in your Gemini, you can see you've even got all of that beautiful texture on those petals with that embossing, so you don't even need to do any further texturization if you don't want to. So that's how easy they are, and I would do exactly the same with this one. So you see I go along, just, and it doesn't even have to be with a pokey tool, it can be with anything that pushes those through. Push them through really quickly, just so I'm not going to tear them off. And then from one end, release that little first piece, and then when you've done that, then you can peel that down and release that whole flower. And you see I've also got 2 of those. So you see you'll be able to make a lot of those really quickly and easily by just layering up your bits of paper. And actually I think I could have cut another 2 layers of that paper easily. So what I do is I put a little line of red liner tape all along the bottom of my little row of petals there. Okay, so that's how easy it is. And you'll see all of these ones that we're going to use to make flowers here, they've all got that on. Okay, so everything I use has got a little row of red liner tape on there because it's important to me. I'll tell you why as we go along. Now, you've also got little strips for stamens. Now there's a die that cuts all of these little strips for you. So all I do is remove my red piece of tape. Now this is the only fiddly bit, getting your fingers on it. There we go, I've got it. So I remove my red piece there, and then I remove it as I go along. So I can start it off with my one little fold because I don't want it to stick to my quilling tool. And then I place it in my quilling tool, voila. Beg your pardon. There we go. Right, so I'm going to just try and peel this off because what I would do is start this, sorry guys, I'm just going to explain what I would do. I've got red liner tape right to the end here, which was hasty of me, and what you don't want is that, because you don't want your thing to, you don't want your paper to stick to your quilling tool. So I would always stop the red liner tape about 1/4 of an inch or just a couple of millimeters before the end, so that when you slot it in here, it doesn't get stuck. But anyway, you slot it in your quilling tool and then you start to quill. Now, as you roll this along, what you're going to do is have this right at the end. So I'm just going to show you that again. I'm going to stop there. So I'm not going to push it all the way down here and quill it, because I'm going to make it hard for myself to keep a flat bottom. And I'm going to explain why you need a flat bottom in a minute. We all want a flat bottom, don't we? Not a wiggly one. If you don't do that, you'll get a wiggly bottom, and you want it to be flat to stick to your card. So by lining it up like that, then you're going to be able to keep a flat bottom on your quilling, because what you can do as you roll it, and see, we're not having to apply the wet glue, and then keep rolling, so I'm not having to do little bits of wet glue roll, little bits of wet glue roll, springs away because it hasn't quite grabbed. Having the red liner tape just means that it grabs immediately, and so it makes this bit super easy. And this is the bit that I always found really difficult. This is the bit that I couldn't do before. Now, the reason I've said keep it at the end of the quilling tool is so that when you're quilling it, you can follow that along, keep your finger just there, and by doing that, you're giving it a little guide, which is keeping it beautifully straight, and you see you're getting that lovely straight quill there. Look how flat and even that is, and that's because I've got the red liner tape, so it's not slipping and sliding. It's not creating a cone shape because I'm able to keep my finger on the end and make sure that my paper lines up beautifully straight as I go along. Okay, so that's to do the centre of your flower. And if you manage to get your straight stamen quilling die, then you're going to be able to do that. If you didn't get it because there's none left, then cut yourself some little slithers using your guillotine. So you see how lovely and flat that is. So that's the start of my flower. Then what I would do is start to build up the petals. So I'm going to go with the white one this time actually. Now what I like to do, because what you'll notice is these petals are spaced in this way. You can see those, you can see them there. So they're spaced. If I just start to quill this, and I'm not going to stick it, I'm just going to show you if that's okay. If I just start to wrap this round now, what will happen because they're evenly spaced is these petals will all fall in the same place. So you'll actually get a flower that looks like it's just got 3 triangle petals on there. To avoid that, what you do is cut 2 strips, and then you take off your red liner tape on 1 strip, and then with your second strip of the same petal, what you do is you stick that on top directly. So you're sticking it on directly and you're offsetting the petal. So when you offset it, that one's coming in the middle. So you see I'm about 1/4 inch in from the end there. You can see the end there and then where I'm starting. Follow along straight so it all matches up. There we go. So that's stuck in place now. And you can see I've got a beautiful row of petals and they're all offset, which is going to give me a more even flower when I quill. So now what I can do is take off this row of red liner again. There we go, easy. And then follow on with my little quilled, what's the word I'm looking for? Stamen, there we go, the centre, I'm making a daisy. Now what I do to stop it getting chunky in places is I find where I stopped quilling there, so there's my end, and then I find where I'm starting here. I butt the 2 up, press them down, so I start where I stopped. There you go, start where I stopped, and then, oopsie daisies, I just start rolling it around, trying to get you to see and not have it stick to the table is proving tricky. There we go. So there we are. Start where I stopped. Pick it up, Leanne. There we are. Start where I stopped and then start rolling. And keeping your finger on the bottom again allows you to keep a nice flat bottom. So you see I just keep with my thumb. See that there? So the thumb is stopping this from coning as I roll it round. By coning, that means spreading down here. And so I'm able to keep that so it's nice and flat so that when I form my flower with wet glue or like 3D glue gel or with your, what's the word I'm looking for, the hot thing, glue gun, that's the word I'm looking for, hot glue gun, you can stick this in place. And because you've got a nice flat bottom, the glue adheres to all the surface and then you get a lovely firm bond on your craft project. So there you go, I've wound that up and that was just 2 strips. You can see that there, that's my quilling tool. So if I pull that out, now I'm able to shape my flower. So all I do with that, because I put 2 strips together and offset them, is pull my petals down and there we go. I've got a beautiful little daisy, really quick and easy and effortless. Now if I wanted, I could have built bigger petals around there and made that a bigger floral. I could have varied the colours of petal I used. So I could have put some purple around there if I wanted to. It really just depends on your project and what you're doing as to how you're going to start assembling these. But every single one of the quilling dies, every single one of the florals and the examples I'm going to show you work in exactly that way. And if you just follow that rule of thumb by turning your little centre and then by offsetting your petals and rolling them round, The possibilities are endless. You can stick and stay these and glitter them, so you've got glittered petals. You can paint them with your sparklings if you've done them with white and have lovely glittered ones. You can spritz them if you want to. You can texturize them. You can use your Harmony water reactive inks and distress the petals before you do. A lovely little pink, pale pink distress down there with our Harmony water reactive inks would have made it look like a real daisy. That would have looked gorgeous. Possibilities are endless, and every single one of the dies work in the same way.